piercing red eyes, was unlike any other child in his small, isolated village. His heritage was a mix of human and demon, a secret he had to keep from the world. As he grew up, the whispers of his true nature only grew louder, and the more he tried to ignore them, the more he felt the pull of his otherworldly lineage. His parents, a human mother and a demon father who was a member of the feared Yakuza, had always tried to shield him from the darker aspects of his identity, but it was a secret that could never truly be hidden, and the time was drawing near when Kenzo would have to face the truth of his origins. Kenzo's father, Yoshiro, had been a powerful Yakuza enforcer known for his ruthlessness and cunning. He was a man who had ascended the ranks through a combination of fear and respect, earning the moniker the Red Demon for his bloodthirsty tendencies. Though Yoshiro loved his son, he also understood the danger his presence posed to Kenzo. The Yakuza would never accept a half, breed into their ranks, and so Kenzo had been raised separate from his father's life, only hearing tales of his father's legend from his mother, Satomi. She had always tried to protect Kenzo, but the time came when the boy could no longer be kept in the dark. At the age of 15, Kenzo's knowledge of the world was limited to the confines of his village. He had never left its borders, and his understanding of the Yakuza was based on hearsay and myth. The village elders would often speak of the Yakuza with a blend of fear and reverence, painting them as a necessary evil, a force that kept the peace through a strict code of honor and retribution. But Kenzo knew that his father's reputation was not one of honor, and the more he learned, the more he realized that the Yakuza was a shadowy organization that thrived on violence and corruption. It was a realization that lit a flame within Kenzo, a desire to challenge the Yakuza and the life his father had led. As Kenzo grew older, his demon heritage began to manifest in small, unexplainable ways. He developed an uncanny strength and agility that set him apart from his peers, traits that the Yakuza would have found invaluable. It was during these early signs of his transformation that Kenzo first considered embracing his demonic side to exact revenge on the Yakuza, the organization that had shaped his father's life and, by extension, his own. The desire for vengeance was a powerful force, and as Kenzo's power grew, so did his resolve. His hatred for the Yakuza fueled his training, and he became a master of martial arts and strategy, perfecting his skills in preparation for the day he would challenge his father's former associates. 2. The day of reckoning came when Kenzo was 18, as rumors of a Yakuza presence in the village started to spread. Whispers of their involvement in the local criminal underworld began to surface, and the community grew nervous. Satomi, aware that her son's time to face his destiny was approaching, tried to steer Kenzo away from the path of vengeance. She implored him to live a normal life, to find happiness in the world outside the Yakuza's grasp. But Kenzo was no longer content to ignore the darkness growing within him. He knew that he had to confront the Yakuza and bring an end to their influence over his life and the lives of those he cared for. Kenzo's resolve was tested when he discovered that a Yakuza member had infiltrated the village under the guise of a traveling merchant. This man, Yukio, was a cunning operative, tasked with discovering the village's secrets and reporting back to the Yakuza. He was a master manipulator, able to blend into the village's fabric with ease, and Kenzo could sense his malicious intent from the moment he arrived. Kenzo's mother warned him of the danger, insisting that he stay away from the stranger, but Kenzo could not ignore the pull of fate. He had to act, and he had to act soon, before Yukio could report back and the Yakuza could act on the information he gathered. Kenzo's first encounter with Yukio was one of subtlety and deception. He managed to blend into the crowd of villagers, pretending to be just another curious youth, as Yukio made his way through the marketplace. As Yukio passed, Kenzo noticed the distinctive tattoo on his neck, the mark of the Yakuza, and felt a deep, seated hatred rise within him. Kenzo followed Yukio discreetly, watching as he met with a small group of village elders, posing as a businessman seeking investment. It was during this meeting that Kenzo first realized the depth of the Yakuza's involvement in the village's affairs. They had their hands in everything, from the local economy to the political landscape, and their influence was far-reaching and insidious. The night after the meeting, Kenzo could not sleep. He paced the floor of his humble home, the knowledge of the Yakuza's presence gnawing at his psyche. The darkness within him stirred, an acknowledgement of the power he held, and the burden of responsibility it brought. His mother watched him, worried for her son, but there was a proud spark in her eyes as well. She knew that Kenzo was ready to face his destiny, to confront the demons of his lineage, and to protect his village from the Yakuza's grasp. That night, under the soft glow of the moon, Kenzo made a silent vow to himself. He would not only kill Yukio, but dismantle the Yakuza's influence in his village and beyond. Kenzo, a young boy with piercing red eyes, was unlike any other child in his small, isolated